What is communism? A brief summary of the Communist Manifesto. Quick disclaimer: if you're expecting some debunking or praise for the Communist Manifesto, you're not at the right place. This is meant to be as impartial and unbiased as possible. I will give my opinion towards the end, however, that is not the main point of the video. The Communist Manifesto is, as the title implies, a manifesto. A manifesto is a text publicly laying out a political party's goals and beliefs. Manifestos are nothing scary, nor are they a relic. They are a tool still in use nowadays. Granted, they have lost most of their importance and effect. To put this into perspective, all political parties in Costa Rica publish a Plan de Gobierno detailing their goals and visions for the country and how it's managed. Progreso Social Democrático, Rodrigo Chávez's party, published one. Partido Liberal Progresivo has one. Frente Amplio also has one, and some so-called Principios Doctrinales, which is closer to an old-fashioned manifesto. To start off, the goals of communism are stated to be the following. Number 1. Abolition of property in land and application of all rents of land to public purposes. Number 2. A heavy progressive or graduated income tax. Number 3. Abolition of all rights of inheritance. Number 4. Confiscation of the property of all immigrants and rebels. Number 5. Centralization of credit in the hand of the state by means of a national bank with state capital and an exclusive monopoly. Number 6. Centralization of the means of communication and transport in the hands of the state. Number 7. Extension of factories and instruments of production owned by the state, bringing into cultivation of wastelands and the improvement of soil generally in accordance with a common plan. Number 8. Equal liability of all to work, establishment of industrial armies, especially for agriculture. Number 9. Combination of agriculture with manufacturing industries, gradual abolition of the distinction between town and country by a more equable distribution of the populace over the country. Number 10. Free education for all children in public schools, abolition of children's factory labor in its present form, combination of education with industrial production, etc., etc. The manifesto starts off by saying that communism is an ever-growing power that has been acknowledged by all European powers. The old has decried the threat that is communism and thus has made communism a power. So communism wasn't invented by the manifesto per se. It was, however, concretized by Marx and Engels. That's also an important detail. The Communist Manifesto was not solely written by Karl Marx, it was also written by Friedrich Engels, who people often forget to credit. This manifesto explains communism as an attempt at balancing the society we live in. The world is divided into classes, the main ones being the bourgeoisie and the proletariat. The bourgeoisie are those atop the economic ladder, the rich folk controlling the means of production and employing the proletariat. The proletariat are therefore the working class working under the grasp of the bourgeoisie. The immediate goal of communism is therefore quite simple: overthrowing the bourgeoisie supremacy and handing power over to the proletariat. Another important goal of communism is the abolishment of private property. Private property is basically all the land obtained by the bourgeoisie, amongst other assets. The bourgeoisie obtains this from exploiting the proletariat, whilst the proletariat can only really gain capital. There is also a difference between private property and personal property. The manifesto is not suggesting we have communal toothbrushes For instance, toothbrushes are a case of personal property rather than private property. In further writings, it has been explained that for communism to succeed, it must first be a global revolution. There must be two stages to communism. In first stage communism, sometimes referred to as socialism, the antiquated and bourgeoisie-friendly political systems of the days of yore must be abolished, and in their place a dictatorship of the proletariat shall be established. A dictatorship of the proletariat is not a nicer name for any old-fashioned dictatorship. Instead, it means that the proletariat are in charge of the government, who now operates to serve them rather than the needs of the bourgeoisie. In this early stage, all factory and farm work is to be collectivized, and workers will receive work vouchers rather than simple capital. Alongside this, all the typical old-fashioned communist ambitions are to be fulfilled, such as housing for all, free education, etc. In order for communism to succeed, a global revolution must occur, for it takes but a single capitalist country to unbalance everything and leech off of the proletariat's labor. In late-stage communism, work vouchers will be abandoned, and workers will put in what they can and only take what they need, or as it's usually put, from each according to their ability, to each according to their need. Another important detail is that once early stage communism is achieved worldwide, all states will be abolished. True communism requires completely abolishing the state, a fact often overlooked. So, yes, true communism has never been tried. The Communist Manifesto, however, is not the be all and end all of communist theory. Both Marx and Engels have gone on to write more literature, and they are not all there is to communist philosophers. The previous part of this video was not really based on the manifesto, but on what its creators have elaborated on. So now, for the interesting part, my opinion. Do I support Marxist communism? I believe it to be a tad too extreme and unachievable. I consider myself pretty libertarian. However, I do believe that there is still a place in society for both some limited government and some limited markets.
5, 4, 3, 2,